Hey, it's time for the Star Goddess podcast on the Crash and AJ blog and the Crash and AJ podcast right there.
My favorite.
98rock.com. Good morning.
Good morning. What a good morning here in Tampa Bay.
We've had an exciting morning so far here. We're going to get into the Tom Brady thing whenever we get to his sign.
Yes.
And all the different things topically that we do, plus your questions. Another great way to get involved with Star Goddess and have her help you out with your life is to drop a message on the Talkback feature, the free iHeartRadio app. It's where we got a lot of action today. And, of course, the phones during the show, during the week, 800-737-0098. But AJ's out for this one today. Star Goddess, what's the theme
What
here?
is going on here,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
So-
after last
so
night, I
you're
was like, wow, what is going on this week?
Yeah, it's always fun on Mondays because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Actually, what we have two things going on. First of all, Mercury, the planet of communication, has left the sign of Aquarius, where it's been for the last month or so, and gone into the sign of Pisces. And whenever Mercury changes signs, Mercury is where you're going to be putting your conscious energy towards something. You will learn something useful about your world, which is the important thing about Mercury. The second thing is the moon is waxing towards full. The moon is full on Thursday. And full moons always bring matters to a climax. Whatever was started in the 2 weeks prior to the full moon reaches some sort of a climax one way or the other at the full moon, which is, for us, it's Thursday. Technically, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday, but for all practical purposes, this Thursday night. So matters are going to be building to reach some sort of conclusion or release by then. That's sort of the nature of that energy. So kind of important to know where you will learn something useful about your world and your life, and then where you can expect this energy to go ahead and manifest as the week draws to a close.
All right. Who's our first sign on the list?
Pisces, the sign. And Mercury is now entering Pisces. And Pisces is represented by a creature that has no vocal cords. So they have a difficult time expressing what they feel, although they could talk about anything about their feelings. They're not so good at expressing that. When Mercury goes into your sign, it loosens your tongue, and literally you're going to have to rip their fingernails out to get them to stop talking. You're going to hear everything that they want to say. So, and this energy, because it's a full moon, it says that the sun sign is in Pisces and the moon is in Virgo. So for Pisces everywhere, they are going to hear what their partners have to say. For good or for ill, one way or the other. They're
like, this person's talking all of a sudden.
Yeah. And the partner, the Pisces is going to be able to hear what the complaints, usually, because Virgo usually rules complaints, that their partners have to say, and they can come to terms to find a way to resolve it. Because overall, it's very, very good energy for Pisces. Jupiter is in their sign, the sun is in their sign, now Mercury is in their sign. So there'll be some sort of resolution to whatever that partnership issue that they've been dealing with. There'll be some sort of resolution to that by the end of the week. So that's something to kind of look forward to for them.
Okay.
For Aries, this energy is in the 12th house of their own undoing of what has been revealed. And there's some sort of, for Aries everywhere, there's some sort of thing that they didn't want anybody to know about. Okay. And they've been doing really good at keeping it a secret. And that kind of ends this week because that gets revealed one way or the other, for good or for ill, comes by Thursday or so.
Okay.
So, and so it's that kind of thing, what I was trying to tell my clients is that, what you hide from other people, you also hide from yourself. And this can be very illuminating. And the good stuff of this energy is to take a look inside and take a look at your wants and your needs and decide what you need to do in order to get them met. Sort of that kind of a deal.
So you can this could be kind of like a good thing.
It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. If you've tried to hide something, you don't want to hide it anymore, that's going to come out. Okay. But more importantly, there can be some very enlightening stuff going on for the Aries that if they deal with it now, they'll be able to make that new start that they want to do in the May time span. And I have to laugh at who's the guy that decided he wasn't going to play Ali
Marpet.
Yes, he's an Aries.
Marpet, yes.
He is an Aries. And now something new has happened that may change, what he thinks about this, although I don't think he's going to make that decision till May. He says right now he's not coming back.
He's coming back.
Well, T-Kraz did text him, and he's got his personal number, asked him right when he heard that. I mean, you're talking about right when he hears the news.
Yeah.
And he said no, but like Star Guys just said.
Again, that may change.
Yeah.
Tom Brady changes everything.
Because something new comes to light that changes it. Yeah, I would have retired too if I was him.
Yeah, I mean, what
saying,
else?
God, we're not going to win. Why should I get beat up for 2 more years, while we try and train a new quarterback? But what, Tom's coming back? Hold on here. That may change things.
His best 2 years of his career. I mean, and a lot of Bucks had the best 2 years of their careers.
A lot of them would go, I got my ring. I didn't blame him for doing that. I mean, he got his ring. He made the Pro Bowl. He's got a boatload of money, and he can still talk without drooling.
Yeah, his health is there. He had a concussion earlier in the season. It was a pretty bad one, so that made him think a little bit.
Yeah.
be great to get
Yeah, I can see how his
back.
wife would have gone, don't we have enough money now?
Yeah.
But now Tom's back, so that means, I don't know. I don't think he will have that answer till May.
Okay.
So for Tauruses, this energy is in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And Tauruses everywhere find that things are finally going the Taurus's way. Things are finally easier for the Taurus, and they will have their female friends in the group help them achieve that goal or objective. Ordinarily, men have more power than women, but in this particular case for Tauruses, it will be their well-placed female friends that help them out, that help them get to where it is they want to be. So it's really good news.
Man, and AJ's not here for this one. We're going to pass this on
I
to
know.
her.
I finally get to give her good news, and she's home.
Jeez.
Like, I imagine she'll listen.
She's sick, by the way, today. So,
and there is something very creative going on in the Taurus's life, that they can create something new.
Oh, wow.
And they have to be careful about that, because when you're creating things, they tend to take on a life of their own. And some things you create, can last for 18 years or so. So you really want to be careful.
Oh, okay. I
with
see where
that
you're going with this
particular
one.
energy. Yeah, you can see where I'm going with that energy.
Learn
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
and everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different. That's a horse of a different color right there.
Yeah.
For Geminis, this energy is in the 10th house of career and public standing. If I was a Gemini, I'd be begging for mercy one way or the other.
Dang it.
And if I was going to do it, I would do it on my knees and be very contrite while I was doing it, because you're likely to get it.
Okay.
That's the thing, is you're likely to get.
You're likely to get mercy?
That. Yeah, they're likely to get mercy. Yeah, if they ask
who
for
comes
it.
to mind when
Yeah.
you think of this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever manages.
And there's professional stuff going on with them. They're not really sure about the outcome, but they know it's going to impact them at home. But they find out one way or the other what
Wait
that
a
is by
minute.
Thursday.
I think I got it. You're like, man, mercy, uncle, got enough on my plate.
What?
I'm just throwing stuff out there for you.
Don't put that juju on me, man. Whatever it is. I don't know
But
if
it's
I
good
want that.
professionally. It's good professionally.
Well,
It's
that's
some
good.
sort of professional outcome.
I need some things
that
to
you were
get
hoping
answered.
for.
But I will have to beg for some mercy with some people. So
And
now,
if you do, be contrite, look them dead in the eye, and it's awful when somebody's yelling at you. The worst thing you can say when somebody's yelling at you is, "You're right. I'm so sorry, I was wrong." It takes the wind out of their sails, because they really want you to admit you're right. And then when you finally do, they go, "Okay, well, I shot my wad on that one, so nothing left."
There's a message there somewhere.
hoping maybe I wouldn't have to beg anyone for mercy this week, but whatever. I
If
guess
you do, you'll get it. That's a nice thing. And if you do it on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That would be the day. Yeah.
I was aiming for tomorrow too. Guess I'm gonna have to wait a day.
For Cancers, this energy is in the 9th house of law. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance go very favorably for the Cancer. And I'm kind of hoping, since the United States is a Cancer, that we get some sort of resolution of what's going on over there that doesn't really drag us into it, that there's some kind of legal or diplomatic kind of solution that comes to be by the end of the week. That
They're negotiating right now, like they've been. Like, I don't know if they've really been negotiating, but I would imagine when you have airstrikes 15 miles away from Poland, you're going to have to start negotiating.
Going to get somebody's attention
at some point.
And it needs to stop. We got to quit killing women and babies, that kind of thing. But I think for Cancers in general, the law's on their side. Important matters go very favorably all the way across the board for the Cancer. So that's good, at least for the United States and for any Cancers that you know. For Leos, who now own the world.
Wow.
Yeah, for Leos, this is great energy. I like today. Today, the moon is in Leo. I had to laugh when I was on my way in and I heard the horoscopes for the week. And I talked about Leos being the ruler of their world. And Tom Brady, of course, is a Leo. So
nothing interrupts a news cycle like Tom Brady.
He knows exactly how to make an entrance. Like right before the parade started, what was it? What was the parade? The Gasparilla Parade.
Gasparilla Parade
is when it leaked out, and then
they dye the river green.
Yep.
Yes, on
Patrick's
Sunday,
Day.
and all of a sudden, boom,
all done. Yep.
We actually think it was because we were waiting to see if Chris Godwin got the franchise tag. Tom Brady was waiting to see if he was going to come back. Bam, nailed it.
Absolutely. I think all those, I think he gets the whole band back together. I think Lenny's next. I think Lenny's the next guy that they sign.
I hope so.
And they need to.
Either that or he saw how expensive gas was, and it's like, I got to go back to work. I can't afford this.
This inflation's nuts.
I got to do
These kids
something.
are always hungry.
Actually, what I really think happened is that he spent 5 weeks at home and just realized that all those guys have a life. Because they're very used to doing things without him. They go to school.
It's a big fat void, right? In your life, you got this open space that was filled with football before.
Yeah, got nothing now. Sort of like, man, and I guaranteed his wife was like, dude, you again? Again? Can't you go somewhere? Don't you have a practice to go to?
So I follow him and his wife on Twitter. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been a lot of lovey-dovey stuff on their Twitters lately where they've been doing a lot of like couple stuff where they've really been showing how much of a good time they've been having.
Yeah.
I imagine that's probably probably filled her gap. Probably
done. Done.
As far as things that she wanted with them, and now I guess.
Social media is all a lie. They're taking those happy pictures.
It is
the minute they take the picture, Tom's like, God, I need to go back.
I gotta get a job.
I gotta get a job. I can't be in these pictures all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I think for Leo's everywhere because the sun is in there. The sun is in Pisces. Mercury is now in Pisces. Jupiter's in Pisces. In their 8th house are profound transformations, regeneration, rehabilitation, healing from some sort of an injury, and the money's right. That's the other big thing for Leo's everywhere.
Man, and I'm just for you guys to know, I'm the Leo on the show, and so it's really interesting when for one thing you share a sign with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
and you
where's
get
the
to hear,
downside to that?
There's like the things that are going on in everyone's life. The things that marry each other might not be like Tom Brady status.
Yeah, but still, it's along the same lines.
Yeah.
It's that same type of
kind of energy. Yeah. So it
yeah.
has been interesting, I gotta say.
Yeah. So, and I think that whatever the injury was to their psyche, to their soul, that heals. And that's what this energy is really good for. And it kind of restoreth their soul, restoreth their being. So,
and for him, maybe it's just the loss in that playoff that he's had to heal from.
And we talked about that. I remember sitting here thinking, I have never met a Leo in my life because you're a Leo. I have Mars in Leo. I would never be able to end on that note. There's not a way in hell that I would be able to say, okay, my career is done. And it wasn't even my fault. Because it wasn't even his fault. He was standing there with the ball going, what?
You can't play defense either.
Huh? What?
Yeah. So I just never met a Leo that would be palatable to them, that they would be able to go, okay, I can ride off into the sunset with an empty finger.
And I want you, we won't do it this time, but maybe in the next show we can look at what's going forward into the season.
I can answer that. I thought he was going to come back in October.
Yeah.
I did not think we were going to hire another quarterback. I just didn't see us doing that. I thought we'd go with Blaine and Trask, and then that they would struggle a little bit, and Tom would go, okay, I'm back in October, and we can win the Super Bowl, because Jupiter will be in Aries. That guy's got a moon sign in Aries. Bruce Arians got a moon sign in Aries. One of the other, premier players has got a moon sign in Aries. Jupiter in Aries says you win. The idea of him not being in a Super Bowl where the stars would favor him. I think the Rams will be back, and I think we'll kick their butts.
All right. Well, I thought it was kind of sounding desperate for the Bucks to always. We got the door open. We'll leave the light on for you.
It was like an ugly breakup where you think they're going to fall back in love with you and come back.
You're like, come on, you're better than that. All
and
of a sudden,
the fact
boom.
that he did it is just blowing my mind. But you know what? At least he didn't unretire and go to Miami or somewhere else.
True.
Never.
At least he came
was
back.
Going to happen. Somebody said he was going to go to San Francisco, and it'd be like, oh no.
It was. He was going anywhere. It was like, where in the world is Carmen? Where in the world is Tom Brady going?
All right.
No, he's here. And for Leos everywhere, there's a general rehabilitation. There's a regeneration, and they can feel it, and that's complete by Thursday. So that's good for them. For Virgos, this energy is in the 7th house of partners and intimate one-to-one relationships. And Virgos will find out exactly where they stand with their partners over the next week or so. Because that's the question Virgo's asking right now. All this planet 7th house of partners is a play me or trade me, stay, do I go, that kind of a deal. And
right.
They just want to know. And it's not that, and I think Virgos are at the point where they don't even care one way or the other. They just need to know so they know how to think about that. But it really has to do with partners and intimate one-to-one relationships. So
going on a little vacation with my girlfriend.
A Virgo.
The Virgo. In a couple weeks. So, hey.
Yeah, that'd be that kind of question that Virgo probably wants answered.
Oh, wow.
And
what
again.
kind of cocktail I want
yeah.
on the beach? Or probably something more serious than that, maybe?
Could be. I think so. I do. And again, as your friend, we'd be all for it.
Okay.
All for it.
Likewise. She's great.
Yes. Yeah, and she is. But Virgo's everywhere. That's the question. Where do I stand in this partnership?
All right.
And it could be business, it could be professional, it could be personal, but it really gets down to a one-on-one relationship and clarifying all of that, getting a clarity of that. So.
All right.
Do you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
I'm sitting here reading an article that was posted yesterday that the Buccaneers were reportedly in talks to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Never.
Aged so well because 3 hours later, Tom Brady.
He said, what? You're going to have what replacement?
That sounds like an ancient story from many moons ago. All of a sudden.
Maybe one of the motivators. He went to a Man U game and said, man, I don't like sitting in the stands.
Yeah, and then maybe
I think God bless the Glazers. They were smart enough to do that.
Man, yeah.
Come on, bring your kids.
Be
Come
a
and watch
spectator.
This. Yeah,
Check
be
it
a
out.
spectator. Yeah, and he heard everybody cheering for Cristobal, and he was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I like that.
Kudos to the Glazers for that smart move.
Yeah.
Gotta like that. Yeah.
So we just did Virgo.
For Libra, this is my favorite one now. For Libra, this energy is in the 6th house of work and responsibilities, and they get some sort of information about work and responsibilities. And Bruce Arians is sitting right now going, I got the best news I could have had. Literally. For Libras everywhere, but whatever's gone on in Libra's life, that outcome gets determined on Thursday. They find out one way or the other what that particular outcome is going to be, for good or for ill. And the interesting thing to me is that decision has already been made.
So
and I don't know why it is they're waiting until Wednesday or Thursday to tell them, but that decision has already been made, for good or for ill. So
have a person
nice, a caller
on the phone that was from the iHeartRadio app Talkback feature. Here's the question.
My birthday is 9/29/69, and I have a meeting this coming Wednesday, and I'm hoping it goes in my favor. What can you tell me, Star Goddess?
I'm not sure.
There you go. Red button, by the way. Push that on the app there, and you get 30 seconds. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that decision's already been made, and I don't think he's going to like that answer.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Libras are not going to like that answer, and I'm really happy to say, Putin's a Libra, so I hope he doesn't like that answer either. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Libra with a Capricorn rising, so... and again, I think that decision's already been made, but for some reason, it doesn't get found out until the Wednesday or Thursday time span.
Man, I'd love to know how that incorporates into that whole storyline.
God, me too.
Okay.
Me too. So, for Scorpios, this energy is in the 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures, entertainment, anything fun, anything creative is going on for Scorpios. And again, they're the other sign, Taurus and Scorpio, the ones most likely to create something that can end up taking on a life of its own. So they need to be really careful with that kind of thing and be proactive if that's what they want. If that's what they don't want, then they need to be proactive about that as well. But for Scorpios everywhere, it is a time of taking a look at your own creative processes and finding a way to build on them, to manifest them.
Okay.
So, don't we have a caller?
Yeah, we do. We got, this is another one of those from, here's somebody on the phone, right? Go ahead.
Hi, my birthday is October 26th, 1985.
October 26th?
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm really just trying to find out, career-wise, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or is it going to be changing? Like, am I
what are you
on
doing
the right
now?
path or something? It's kind of distinct. I actually do fire sprinkler systems.
You install them or sell them?
Sell them.
No, I do service for them. I'm a service technician.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you thinking about changing to?
I'm not really thinking about making any changes. It's just I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's
over
the
the long
industry.
haul.
Okay, you're supposed to be in.
You're a Scorpio, so you're good with your hands. You got a moon in Aries that rules fire. So installing fire, is it fire prevention systems, fire detection systems?
Prevention. It's the sprinkler systems themselves. So, like when the head goes off and the water comes, that's what I do.
Okay, I got to tell you, I think that's a really good career field for you based on those energies. I can understand why you might think you might want to change, but I'm not going to lie to you. That does not happen for... You don't change what it is that you do or where you do it till June of 2024.
All right, well, there you go.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Star God, is there a chance within that area, maybe something else within that area that would...
if anything, she would go into the sales end of it just to make more money doing it.
Okay. There you go. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
There you go.
There you go, Scorpios. Thinking about doing something new. Not sure what they want. Let your creativity out and follow it. That's what I say.
Could be fun.
Yeah, it could be a good time. For Sagittarians, this energy is in the 4th house of home and foundations, and they are thinking about, with Jupiter there, with the sun there, with Mercury there, they're thinking about, where am I going to live? The place I'm going to live, the circumstance. I know, that's why I have to laugh every time I have to laugh.
Sagittarius is my rising sign, by the way.
Yeah, it's, again, and so it's like a home, foundation, and the book says it's a good time to purchase real estate, even if you're not planning on living there right away. It's a matter of really wanting, and the idea is that when the sun and when those planets, the sun and Mercury and Jupiter, are all on the bottom of your chart, you want to secure your foundations. Yeah, you're going to go out into the world, but it's much better to have a nice solid base of operations to operate out of. And that's what they're trying to do. And the desire for land and for real estate is a desire for a stable inner world. That if your inner world is stable, then you can handle anything that happens in the outer world. But it really is a good time to think about purchasing a home, refurbishing your home, remodeling your home, having to do with making yourself secure and safe is the big thing that you're trying to do with this energy. So home
That's
and
in play for me.
foundations.
Always.
I know,
It's
it
just-
cracks me up.
All right.
And I know you think I come in here and go, how can I say this that will apply to him? And I don't. It's usually as I start saying, I look up and go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so uncanny
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's the strangest thing. And I've been doing this forever. I've been doing this, God, professionally since time began. But every time something like that happens, I still look down and go, really? Little point of light up there? That stupid little point of light can impact me directly in my life and the decisions I make. It still blows my mind.
Yeah.
It still does. So for Sagittarians everywhere, home and foundations, that's the kind of thing they want to solidify.
Concentrate on that. Yep.
For Capricorns, this is in their third house of day-to-day living and short duration travel. And they learned something pretty important about the rules, is what they find out as we speak, kind of a deal. For Capricorns everywhere, the legal matters go very well for them. They're very favorable. There's some sort of educational opportunity for them. And this is like not getting a PhD or a master's degree. This is some sort of short-term class or a certificate or something that can help them advance in their career. It's not, and it's almost like you have to fill a square and check it out, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And it goes very favorably for the Capricorn. And the idea to do that is for them to make more money, to be able to advance within what it is they are already doing.
So my niece is a Capricorn, and she is decided, until she figures what she wants to do while going to school, she's going to sell life insurance.
Why not?
And so she's got.
She a Capricorn?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll do great with that.
Yeah.
So there's a licensing she has to take.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's, I guess she's finished one part of it. I guess there's some other part of it coming down the road.
a couple of parts to it.
Yeah, so that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Falls in
and
the line.
again, this is not like a PhD. This is some sort of credential that enables them to do what it is that they want to do next.
Okay.
So it's kind of good for them. For Aquarians, it's all about the money is really what it gets down to. The sun, Mercury, the full moon, all of that is in their second house of their resources and the resources that they share with other people. And there's going to be some negotiation, some sort of discussion over the next 4 or 5 days that climaxes on Thursday with what are we going to do about these resources? And I can't help but think that that's important for Ukraine because it really gets over what it is that Russia really wants or the resources that Ukraine really has. And it's about the money with them. And they were going to separate their electrical grid from the Russian electrical grid, and so they could be fully independent, and that's kind of what kicked a lot of this stuff off. But for Aquarians everywhere, they find out whatever the financial decisions are, that comes to be on Thursday for them. And I think it's interesting because Ukraine is an Aquarian, and their leader is also an Aquarian. So it really gets down to money will talk and BS will probably walk for Aquarians everywhere. So and I just want it to be over, and I want people to be safe, and I want bombs to stop dropping. And
yeah, I mean, it's just too much senseless
awful.
killing, and for really it's for the same things that negotiations could become. You could sit at a negotiating table and negotiate these things.
Yeah,
but one person feels like being a hammer on it. You don't
have to kill people to get. Money is the root of it. So hopefully, one way or the other, we will know that particular outcome by Thursday.
All right.
One way or the other. So, and I'm praying for them because it's big energy.
Yeah.
It's genuinely big energy. So, I'd like to get it released and be done. So, tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac. Welcome back, Tom Brady. Going to be fun on Mondays around here next year.
Hell yeah.
I was not looking forward to coming in here on a Monday going, yeah, did you watch that game? No, I didn't.
Did you see that ass kicking?
We were going to be more into Joe Millionaire, too, than we were going to be into this.
Which, by the way, we're ended really well, by the way.
We need to get these. Why have we not talked about these people?
We'll do that on the next podcast. We're like Joe Millionaire nerds now all of a sudden. Everybody's making fun of us. But Star Goddess, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you guys next week on the FM on 98 Rock, 98rock.com, and, of course, the Crash and AJ podcast on the iHeartRadio app.